Jamal Niaz here with Lawrence Okolie. What an absolute banger of a card we're getting April the 5th in Manchester. Long overdue match between you and Richard Riakporhe. You know, Dev mentioned that near brawl that happened at the Creed 3 premiere 2 years ago. Just talk about how that rivalry's been simmering since then and your thoughts on Richard.
Well, it's been before that because, as we know, that whole other side, Chamberlain, Richard, Dillian, I've had my issues with them since almost a decade now. But it's not enough for it to spill into anything else, so getting it ticked off in the boxing ring, that's what it's about.
Did that brawl kind of need to happen for you guys to be, like, you don't need to be separated today? You know, it's all business now, the fight's been made.
Well, I think, you know what, it was something like that should never even happen in the first place, but it did, and we're here. I think the good thing about that is it means that we can have this fight now, where it could have slipped into, we could have just not liked each other in secret, where now it's like when the fight gets presented, it's like, opportunity to punch him in the head, let's do it.
How exciting of a time is this in your career now, mixing it up with the best at heavyweight?
Winning stays on. Yeah. So as long as I'm winning, it's the best time of my life, you know what I mean? I boxed in December, I'm now about to box in April. I'm finally going to be allowed activity as long as my body and my performances warrant it. I go out and win, I beat Richard the way I expect to beat him, we're on to the next one, so yeah, I'm excited.
In an ideal world, do you see the co-main and main event of this card as sort of a mini four-man tournament?
Yeah,
you'd like to go and fight Whyte, wouldn't you?
I do see that. I'd fight either one, Whyte or Joyce. I know we went to Olympics, me and Joyce, and there's no bad blood there, but I'd box either one. I think it's all good domestic dust-ups. I'm trying to get to Zhang Caballero winner, but maybe there's an interim fight that needs to happen. Well, as long as I do what I'm meant to do here, I'm going to get that fight.
It's good for the UK as well, though, man, because
fans know us all. Yeah. They know that there's a little bit of a story. Just forget the stories, let's just make the fights happen. And you know what, with what Riyadh's been doing, what Queensbury's doing, it's like they're just saying to fighters, why don't you two box each other? And then if you're there saying no, you get put to the side. Yeah. So real fights only, that's why we're here.
Obviously, it goes without saying, you'd love a knockout over Richard Riakporhe April 5th. Do you feel, I don't want to use the word pressure, but
there is pressure.
The stakes, do you feel like...
The pressure's there. The pressure's there because of what I want to do. I just said to you before, it's winner stays on. But it's not just winner stays on like I have a fight. I cannot say I want to box Dillian and Whyte. I have a fight with Richard. I need to go in there and listen, he's a good fighter, but I need to still go and execute a real statement over him, and then it allows me to go on and do more stuff. So yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Sparred Dillian, Dev mentioned the video that was released a few years ago, and you guys have had back and forth over the past year, but you were alright sat next to each other, weren't you?
Listen, I'm 32, he's 30, whatever it is. It's like, I'm not going to have a roll around with a guy when I'm a boxer and I'm boxing another fighter in the same room in 8 weeks' time. However, there's limits. Nothing really got said or did that was like completely out of line, and it'd be fake because I saw him in the hotel and I didn't attack him and he didn't attack me. So for us to have a punch up now, it's like, why are we doing it for the cameras? However, in my heart of hearts, I don't like him. In his heart of hearts, he'll probably say the same. So, you don't need to hate someone to have a fight with them. So that's where we're at.
You think you're capable of knocking him out if you were to fight?
There's no one that I'm incapable of knocking out. Like, I'll train to KO everyone that I fight. So yes, I do believe I'll knock him out. The same I believe I'll knock Richard out. That's just what I'm training to do. I'm trying to really you know what I mean? I'm trying to crunch.
You must like a bit of needle though, because fans are going to be wanting to tune in.
It's more so for myself. So for example, when I look at these guys, it's like, when I'm boxing like a random guy from a random country, it's just like, okay, it's cool, it's boxy, but it's like, okay, I like a little bit of needle because I already train hard, so it gives me another little edge, A, and B, it gives me that little spite. So when I'm training, it's like I'm very good at I can negate most people's stuff, but it gives me an extra kick to, okay, you know what, push hard, because in the fight you're going to need to push hard. So anyway, we'll see.
You mentioned Zhang Caballero, obviously another banger on that card is Parker Dubois. Yeah. Who have you got in both of those fights?
I think Zhang early or Caballero will win a points decision by staying cute and grafting, and then I think Dan will get the victory within 6, but then if not, we've seen Parker like negate two of the biggest punchers in Zhang and Wilder. So what's stopping him from doing it a third time and getting a points win?
What do you make of His Excellency saying that you'd like to see Joshua and Wilder at this point? Because in terms of who Joshua could fight next, Okolie's matched up. So who would you like to see him fight?
At the end of the day, it's heavyweight boxing. Like, people keep going on to their 40 in heavyweight, so it's like it's still a good fight. Still, Wilder's still explosive. We saw what happened with him and Zhang. However, he's still got good attributes that could cause AJ trouble, and AJ's got attributes that could cause him trouble. It's a fight I would watch.
100%. And Fury's retirement as well. I'm sure you've been asked about this before, but do you really think that's it? Nothing can convince him to get out of it?
Yeah, I don't know him like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I can't say, but I think it could be genuine. He's probably made hundreds of millions of pounds, so he doesn't need to box. But at the same time, you know, he's probably going to wait and see what the landscape looks like. How does Parker and Jace go? How does this and that go? Because, you know, we need to see what fights are actually available.
I'm very close with Joe Gallagher. I just want to know, what's it been like working with him over the past year? And, you know, he's an encyclopedia of boxing knowledge. He absolutely lives and breathes the sport, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's been good, and I think more so the mindset that he comes to boxing with. It's not like pretty, it's gritty, it's Trojan, it's like mob warfare. It's like, you know what I mean? We're coming like as a platoon to try to get the job done, and it's what I needed coming off my cruiserweight days into Bridgerweight world title, into now heavyweight, now into a match against someone like Richard Riakporhe. You want that kind of like, we're coming to do a job together, so it's good.